We're back in on Unplugged. Sean King with us for this edition, and if we're talking NFL draft, what a great story Sean is when it comes to local success. You're a guy that at Gibbs High School had a tremendous amount of success. You ended up going to Tulane, had an unbeaten senior season, and then it comes time for the NFL draft. Take me back to April of 1999. Had to be exciting, had to be nerve-wracking. You get to draft day, you're waiting for your name. What was all of that like?
It was exciting. Any kid that's ever been through the process, any young man that's had a dream of playing in the National Football League, and you're that close to realizing that dream, I mean, it's an exciting time. There was some trepidation on my end just because the amount of quarterbacks that were in that draft. A lot of people forget we had 5 guys get picked in the top 20 picks that year in the first round. I mean, Tim Couch, Keely Smith, Donovan McNabb, Cade McNown, Dante Culpepper. So I actually had a feeling, I had an inkling that I was going to San Francisco. I had taken 2 visits out there. They were in a transition, from Steve Young. They had a guy from Canada who was just gotten there named Jeff Garcia.
That's right.
And they had drafted a kid, Jim Druckenmiller, who hadn't done so well up to that point. So I really thought I was going to San Francisco late in the first round. So the one thing people don't understand about the way the draft used to be is I was the 50th pick in the draft, but that's a long time from the first pick to the 50th pick, but it was worth the wait. I never forget it. I was at my parents' house, and we had the camera crews were there, so they were filming it, and you go through all these teams, and they're calling players, and you don't hear your name, and finally the phone rings, and it's Tony Dungy.
Wow.
And I mean, just the excitement of knowing that I didn't have to jump on a plane, that I could load all the family up in the soccer van and drive over to the 01 Buck. I mean, it is an unbelievable feeling.
When the entire first round goes by and every team has essentially passed on you, you're thinking what draft day?
I know I'm not going to make it through the second round.
You were confident that somebody grabbed you in the second round, but you weren't shaking your head that, man, every team in the first round just said no. No doubt there.
No, but yeah, because I'm just one of those guys that tries to look on the bright side. I'm an optimist. I'm definitely not a pessimist. So I just was like, okay, we got that out the way, and I know I'm going in the second round. Now it's just where. And I understood that, I came out, and you look at it now, this was before the social networking era. So not a lot of people got a chance to see Tulane, so I was coming from a smaller school, so I understood that. But I was looking forward to the opportunity to make it, to hear my name called, to experience that with my family, and it was a special moment.
That Liberty Bowl that you won to finish an unbeaten season at Tulane, that might have been the only game you were on national television that entire 98 season, correct, at Tulane?
Yeah, I think you're right. We did some Fox Sports Net stuff or some regional.
Right.
But that was the only national game that we had. We played pretty good.
You played for Rich Rodriguez. Tommy Bowden was the head coach at Tulane. Rich Rodriguez was the quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. What was that like in the Wayback Machine?
Me and Coach Rod are still buddies to this day. He's a great guy. I've been around Mike Martz, John Gruden, Denny Green. And I've had some guys that are perceived as being like offensive geniuses, but Coach Rodriguez is as good as any of those guys. His ability to mold and fit his offense based on his personnel, I think, is second to none. And it was a unique situation. Tommy Bowden came in from Auburn, but he had the Bowden name, being his father. This was when Florida State was at its heyday. It looks like they're headed back there under Jimbo, but this is when they were still in their heyday, and it was an exciting time at Tulane. I had some guys coming in who I really felt were going to give me the opportunity to showcase my abilities and talents, and it worked out. And I mean, the rest is history.
All right, I want to go down a list with you of things that if you picked out one or two, people would say, cool. Leading the nation in pass efficiency. Undefeated season in Division I. Okay. Drafted in the second round of the NFL draft. Get to start a game your rookie year on Monday Night Football in the NFL. Get to start and win a playoff game. I mean, Sean, if we're picking one or two things, that's cool. You got to do all of those things in the span of about a year and a half to 18 months, my friend.
Yeah. If I had to choose one, I'd probably say the playoff game. Just the historical context of the fact that I think before then only one rookie quarterback had ever started and won a playoff game. So just to be placed in a position to have that opportunity and the dramatic way the game finished, I mean, we struggled mightily for about, about 2.5 quarters for the most part. And, you know, John Lynch got a big interception on the sideline that kind of ignited us, and we were able to find a way to scratch and claw. And I threw a touchdown pass to the tight end. And I mean, just laying there and hearing the crowd and understanding the emotion involved, I mean, that was a special moment.
I can tell just looking at you, you remember everything
Oh, yeah.
about something like that in a playoff. I mean, you're a homegrown St. Pete kid throwing a touchdown pass, basically a winning touchdown pass in a Buccaneer playoff. It gets no better in the short term than that.
And one of my good friends is Brad Johnson, so anytime we're together, I always tell him I'm 1-0 against him.
Yeah, because Johnson was on the Redskins that day when the bad snap happened. People don't remember this either in that same sequence. I kind of alluded to it. You started your first game as a starting quarterback as a rookie on Monday Night Football, Sean King.
Minnesota Vikings, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. That's a pretty big deal. I actually threw a touchdown to Jaquez Green. I remember it. It was a takeoff, and I threw it. I thought I left it inside too much, but you know, Quez made a good play. I'm really excited. I think I threw another one to Dave Moore. You know, Dave Moore works over at Bright House with me, so that was exciting. I mean, it was a dream come true, man. You know, a little kid, you know, never really expected, you know, to be able to accomplish a lot in football, you know, because from a stature standpoint, you know, I'm not ideal, but, you know, just to be able to experience those things and go through them and then do it in an environment in a city where I grew up, it made it really special.
Great stuff from Sean King. We're going to have much more with him. We're going to talk about what he's up to now. He's part of the media now, and it's a different limelight, a different role. We'll talk about that with Sean when Unplugged continues. Stay with us. Unplugged is presented by Furman Nissan of Tampa. Better prices, better service, we deliver. We're back here at Furman Nissan of North Tampa, and Tom Waken, the new car sales manager, is back with us here. Time to talk about a different vehicle, the 2011 Rogue. Tell me more about this car.
Well, it's just a great size sport utility vehicle, TJ. It's not real big, not real small. It's got plenty of family room in it, and it's got a fantastic warranty.
You know, and if you're somebody that's looking for something bigger than a car, but not necessarily a full-on SUV, this is the vehicle for you. Tell me a little more about it.
It's the perfect size, and gets a great fuel economy as well.
And that's something important in today's current economic times. Now, something else that's important is what happens after the sale. And I have bought from Furman Nissan. You're going to take care of them after the sale.
Well, as you know, we've been here over 100 years, and the service department takes care of our customers, and that's why they continue to come back.
All right, so we encourage people to come check out the Rogue and come see Tom and his staff here on North Florida Avenue at Furman Nissan of Tampa.